afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and I'm so glad to see all of you from all over the US and all over the world. Today, we're going to have some fun because we're going to be making a decorative holiday topper card. So it's going to be a holiday card. However, these types of techniques can be used for any kind of card for any occasion. But today, I thought I would get out the Winter Whimsy kit and use some of those long strip stamps to do something fun, because we haven't made a holiday card now in, I guess, about almost a week. Our last card was last Wednesday for the holidays. If you didn't catch the live Monday night, I made a rainbow card and I showed you some cool techniques using masking magic. And I'm going to be using masking magic yet again today to do a little bit of ink blending. So welcome, welcome. I see everybody coming in from all over the place. And Tom, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today.
Yeah. Oh, you look nice and warm.
Yeah.
It's cold here today, huh?
Not too bad. It's just kind of gloomy out there. And so good day to be inside, I think.
It's a good day to be inside and good day to make a bright, happy card. That's what we're going to do. So I'm trying to think, I think I'd like to use two different color themes for my cards. I'm going to try to get 2 cards in today. And I thought that I would do maybe one in greens and blues, and then one in blues and purples, maybe with a little pink mixed in there, just so that we can do some non-traditional holiday colors. You know me, I love the non-traditional stuff. And also because these cards would also make a great winter card or just a birthday card or anything else, because I'm not using very specific Christmas stamps. I'm using trees and I'm using houses. All right, well, welcome everyone. Let's take a look at the stamp set that I'm going to use today. I'm going to be using this one here. This is the Winter Whimsy set, and I'm going to use the tree stamp. And I'm going to be using this little strip of houses. But first, one of the questions that I've seen a lot in our group is some people are struggling a little bit cutting out this die plate. So I thought, you know, the cards that I made up until now, I pre-cut the plate. So people are like, well, I want to see you cut it. I want to see you cut it. So I'm going to cut it today so that you can see how I cut it and get a really good cut. So give me 1 second here. So I'm going to get a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to, this is one of our mid-weight cardstocks. It's not a heavy base weight. It's a mid-weight. This is Dusty Rose. Peach Bellini is also a mid-weight. I'm trying to think of what other color. Sandy Beach is a mid-weight. And so what's nice about this is it's great to use as a shim too. And I'm going to use this as a shim for my die. So let me take this piece of masking magic and I'm going to cut it in half. Where are my glasses? I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half. So masking magic measures 5 by 7 inches. And I'm going to cut this at about the 3.5 inch mark. And that should be fine for this plate. Yeah, it's going to be tight, but I think it'll work. Yep, that'll work pretty well. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. And then, let's see here. Let me get my die cutting machine, because we'll cut this out first. Now, if you worry about cutting it too close, cut it a little bigger. You can always use the masking magic for a million other things. So maybe for cutting the die plate, you would want to go to the 3 3/4 inch mark on the masking magic, so that it's just a little bit bigger and you have room. This can be cut down into strips to do all those fun strip techniques that I show you, where I do borders and stuff. So that would work too. We'll use the bigger ones. So let's cut it to 3 3/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to lay my plate down, and I'm going to, you can see I still have some little pieces in here. And this is just, you know, this is just what happens when you have an intricate die cut plate. You'll get these little bits and pieces in there that sometimes you just have to take your craft pick and just pick them out. Some people use a soft toothbrush. I do tap it to get a lot of stuff out initially, but then whatever's left, I just take my time and just go with my craft pick and pick it out. I got a little piece of masking magic stuck there. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your die plate on one side, of the machine, one side or the other. It doesn't matter which side, but you will get a better cut this way. And then I'm going to lay my masking magic with the print facing me on top. Then I'm going to put my plate on there. And then I'm going to add a piece of cardstock on top. Now this is, got to work a little bit to get this through, but anytime you have a really intricate die, the way around this whole process is anytime you have dies this intricate is really to invest in one of those electric machines. The one that I have, I'll show you real quickly, is this. This is the Gemini. This is the machine that I use as an electric die cut machine. I don't know. They just have more pressure than the manual ones, but this certainly can be cut with the manual one. So I am going to cut this out now. And once it gets to the plate, you really need to put a little pressure on that handle to get it through. Okay. Now you can see your cardstock's going to be a little bit bent because it was really squished. But here we go. I'm just going to take my craft pick and I'm going to pick up one end of this to get it out. And you can see it cut everything out. Now, what I do is I just kind of run my fingers over it and stuff starts to fall out. But you get a solid cut. The problem is that it's very intricate, so things are attached to other things, and they're like these. They get all caught up in the little spokes of the snowflake and stuff like that. But it's all completely cut. And I just take my craft pick and I just poke it all out. So no problem cutting this with my Spellbinders machine. Now, here's another trick. If you're using it with masking magic, usually the masking magic, you can just pull the masking magic right up and all the little pieces stay left behind. But the one problem is if they don't stay left behind, then, it's sticky on the back. So it's even a little more difficult. But you can see I'm just poking these out, taking my time. And remember, I'm going to reuse this mask over and over again. So it's not really a problem for me to take a little bit of time to poke these out. But you see they're just dropping right out. They're not stuck or they're not all the way cut through. Again, it's just because it's a very intricate die that it takes a little bit to get all the stuff out of there. What's fun about this is you can use the masking magic piece as a stencil, which is what I'm going to use. And then if you wanted to, you can use the piece of masking magic that you've already stenciled on because it'll be colored beautifully as another piece for a card if you don't want to keep it to reuse it. So we'll see. We'll see how the cards go today, how they look, and whether or not I want to use this for a card or not. See, it's almost done. Just a few more little bits and pieces here to cut out. And this is also, we talk a lot about things to do to start your mojo or things to do when your mojo is stuck and you don't know what to make, but you want to be crafty in your craft room. You could cut a bunch of these, put on a good podcast, put on your favorite music, your favorite television show, and then just cut a bunch of these panels and just poke out all the little bits and pieces. I think real diehard card makers, we don't mind this. This is we like to see it start to come alive as we poke these things out. This does not bother me at all. I actually kind of enjoy the process. Okay, good enough. There's a few little pieces in here that will just fall out when I open up the liner in the back. Okay, and then for this, a lot of it will drop out. You can see it all over here. You can tap it. And see, most of it is gone. Just a few little bits and pieces, especially with masking magic because it is sticky. But then, we have the little holes on the back that will make it pop out, or you can just take your craft pick and get in there and just poke it right out. So that's almost clean. just by tapping it on the back. Pretty cool, huh? Okay. I do not recommend using dryer sheets or wax paper or any of that. According to the die manufacturer that we use and the die manufacturer here in the US, because I've talked to them extensively about intricate dies, the die manufacturer here in the US actually made a video about why putting wax paper on your dies is a bad idea. So you definitely don't want to do that, because what happens is that wax gets all built up around your dies and it dulls the blade, and you don't want to dull the blade. So just take the time to pick those out. And of course, this is our most detailed die plate. So the other ones, they just fall right out because they're not so detailed. But anytime you do something detailed, you get spectacular results, but you got to do the work, I guess, right? Okay, so now let's take a piece of cardstock here. I'm going to cut this cardstock. Let's see. I think what I need is a piece of cardstock that's the size of a card base. So let me just measure this quick. That's 5.5. Okay, yeah, that's half sheet. All right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to score this at 4.25 inches. So this is just a half sheet of cardstock, and I'm scoring it at 4.25 inches. All right. Get my score line in there. Then what I want to do next is I want to figure out which stamp I'm going to use. So if I wanted to use this one, I would have to bring it pretty far down on my card. So let's start with this one first, okay? So we know that this one is about the same size as this acrylic block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the cardstock so it opens backwards. So this is the back of the card. And I'm going to use my acrylic block as a ruler. I'm just going to bring it down just a little bit from the top. And then I'm going to use a pencil, and I'm just going to do a real light pencil line going across. Okay? Then I'm going to take my pair of scissors. But before I do that, now I want to cut this cardstock down. I want this to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 3/4 inch. The fold is over here on this side by 5. Okay. 3 3/4 inch by 5. Okay. Now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut just along that pencil line that I made. Sometimes it's fun to just get scissors out and do techniques the old-fashioned way, the way we used to do them with scissors. When we wanted to cut something, we would fussy cut. And then I'm going to cut it right down along the fold. Okay. And if you have that little, you can get in there real close with your scissors. Cut that off. Okay. So now my card looks like a regular card, but when I open it, it's short on the inside. Okay. So now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to stamp my houses right along the top. So now we're going to pick colors. What color should we do for this one? I kind of want to do like some really bold colors. Like one color that I don't use enough is Blue Lagoon. I think Blue Lagoon would be a really fun color to use for this. And I'll use Jelly Bean Green. And then how about if I use a little sea glass for that? Here we go. Okay, so this is going to kind of be my blend near the bottom. And then this is going to be along the top, Blue Lagoon. All right, now I'm going to open this just so that it makes it easier for me. Okay. And I'm going to stamp these houses in Blue Lagoon. Sorry, I have a lot of stuff on my desk here. Now, if you're worried, because I'm a little worried here that I might want to stamp this more than once, I could use my Misty for this, but let's see. Maybe it'll be okay if it's not perfect. Let's try it. Okay. So we're going to stamp that right there. Okay, that's not too bad, right? All right. So now my card's going to fold here. All right. So let me clean this stamp. And then I'm going to get my scissors again. And I'm going to trim. Now, this is one of those really super easy stamps to cut out. So I'm going to just do a lot of straight lines. And you want to have just a nice sharp pair of scissors here. You can see what I'm doing here. So I cut that out first. I'm going to cut this side. And then I'm going to cut. Just like this. Oh, you know, the music starts and I start relaxing right away. Do you guys relax right away when Tom starts playing? I know I do. Let's get in there and we'll just go down like that. When you're cutting in real life, it'll be even easier because you're going to be cutting and you're going to have it closer to you. I have to have it a little farther away from me because I'm doing it on camera. So it won't be quite as hard. It's just straight cuts. Do all the straight cuts you can. Kind of fun to have this little design just sticking up over the top of the card. And you can go back and refine areas afterwards if you want to. See, like right in here, probably want to get just a little closer so I can just cut that out. Okay, so now I've got that little row of houses up at the top. I think I'll cut this one a little closer too. See if I can. I think I can. Here we go. Yeah, that's super easy to do. Okay. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is, I don't know if I have Post-it notes. I think I might have a Post-it note here. Okay. I'm going to block this part of my card off because I don't want to get anything on the back of the card. Not that it's really going to matter. I don't know why. You know what? It's not going to even really matter. Okay. So I'm going to put this down here like this. This is my masking magic. I'm going to put it right down to the bottom of the card here. Just try to center it on the front of the card. Okay. And now we're going to do some ink blending. So I'm going to start with a little sea glass. Let's do that one first. Get my ink stand. There we go. And I'm going to just randomly do kind of a like a diamond pattern coming out from the center. Just because of the nature of this particular die plate and the way that it looks, I think this will be really pretty and really balanced. But you don't have to do this. You can just go ahead and ink all over the place. Willy-nilly, however you want. And I'm also not worried about up here at all. Go. Now I think I'm going to add a little blue lagoon into this just to deepen it up a little bit along the edges and get some of that deeper blue in there. Take this in here. It's flying all over the place. Somebody asked me when we're getting the ink stands in, and we have them in-house. We just haven't gotten them up on our website yet, but they were really nice. Okay, so we added a little bit of that in there. Now let's get some green. I'll use Jelly Bean for this. Hello and welcome, everyone. It's great to see you all. And I love to get that green over into the blue areas because then you get that blend, that mix. So I'm not really staying within that area that I left open. I'm spreading outward. I think I've got one little piece of masking magic stuck right here. Yes, I do. And that'll leave a white spot. So go ahead and get in there. The masking with the ink. I love this color combination. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm going to peel this off. Oh, that's so pretty, isn't it? Just so soft. That's the piece that I picked off. Okay, so now we're going to do something right up here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a little piece of, let's pick a color. What would mix nicely with these? Turquoise sea? No, I think we should use a green. Let's use a green or a dark color. Let's use a teal. Let's use the dark teal. Should we do that? And a little black? Okay. So now I'm going to cut a little strip here. You know, I like to cut these strips really small. So my card is 3 3/4 of an inches, 3 3/4 of an inch across. So I'm going to cut this piece down to that first. And that's going to fit properly right in there. Now I'm going to decide how big. You'll notice the grid lines on here match the grid lines on our blocks. So I can just hold the block up there and go, okay, 2 grid lines looks like it will be perfect. So I'm going to make this 2 grid lines. So I'm going to take it down 2 squares and we'll see how that looks. Yeah, that's going to be a perfect fit right there. Okay. And then I want to accent that with a little bit of black, of course. So I'm going to need to have my black cut to 3 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to go, let me cut this so it's even. So I'm going to go down 2 blocks and then 1/8 of an inch. Like that. And then we can put these 2 together. And that just dresses it up a little bit to go right across there. And that's going to play into my black greeting down here. Okay, so let's adhere these 2 together. So the scissors that I'm using are from my friend Brutus Monroe. He's got these scissors in his store, and he gave me a pair when we did an event together, and I tried them, and I love them. So let me ask you this. Do you guys like the little bit of white showing under the houses, or do you like it going all the way up to the edge? I think I like it going all the way up to the edge because it looks like the street, you know, that they're sitting on the street. I think I'll do that. I think most of you will agree with that. There'll be a few people that like it the other way, but that's okay. No white showing. Okay, so far, no white showing. We've got a couple people that like it with a little white showing, but Okay, there we go. All right. There's a little card with my houses up top. Okay, so now I'm going to add a black panel behind this, and I happen to have one sitting here. And then all of that would go onto my white card base. Isn't that kind of fun? And then you can write your greeting right in here. Okay, so let's adhere this together. I do love black cardstock, you're right. I have to have it on everything. Okay, so remember, you don't want to go up to the top here. You just want to go up to the top of this part of the card. Now, you don't have to do that at all. You could put it right onto your card base if you wanted. Some people would like that look better. But, you know, I love my black cardstock. You're right. You all know me. And this whole thing, this whole panel could be cut out with Master Layouts 1, this black piece. Just so you know if you get nervous about cutting cardstock. Okay. I almost feel like I want to add some like little white dots and make it look like a nighttime sky up there. Wouldn't that be pretty? Like a snowy night? Okay, so now let me get my Misty, because if I have to do the greeting a second time, I'll scream. So I'm going to add this to my Misty there. And then I'm going to use a greeting from this little stamp set. I know a lot of you got this one. Now, where did I put it? Okay, I know a lot of you got this one. This is called Holly Jolly. And I feel like a big Merry Christmas greeting right in the center here would be appropriate. And you could do a really big greeting, or if you wanted, you could leave this the way it is and you could do a strip sentiment going across. You could do that in white. I think I'm going to do it right here. Should I do it up high? Should I do it right in the middle? I think I'll do it right in the middle. Okay. I do live dangerously. You are right. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm doing it in the middle. I got a lot of middle. I could use a die cut. That's true. No, I can't make my dies in the US. They don't have time for me. I tried. They're just too busy for me. It's the only place in town. And they just don't have time. They are booked solid. And if I did them in the US, they wouldn't be pre-cut. You'd have to cut them yourself, cut them all apart yourself. And I know a lot of you guys like that you can pull them right out of the package and use them. Okay, so there's my fun little card. Isn't that cute? So much fun. I like that.
Very nice.
Okay, so I'm going to put that one aside. And then let's try one with the trees. And then we can give these two away.
Penny wants to know if you dream card designs.
I do. I actually do. I wake up a lot of times in the morning and I'm like, oh, I got to try that. You guys do too, though, don't you? Come on. You know that's when you've like gone over the edge, when you start dreaming about card making. And I know almost all of you do that. You have had dreams about card making. Tell the truth. Okay. So let's get another card base here. I think I need to get a new piece of cardstock. This one I might have to do with my Misty because it is a much bigger design. You dreamt once about card making and it was a poorly executed design. I love that. You'd start dreaming about the horrors of things that could go wrong. It's okay. Okay, so this one, let me get this out of here. Let me score this first. Tom, are you wearing a hat?
Yes.
Are you? So this one we could actually use this piece on here if we wanted to. We could make it very bright. Should we do that? Should we use this? Let's use it. I think that would be really pretty. Okay, we'll do that. Why not? Use up the masking magic. Okay, so I'm going to cut this down. Welcome, welcome. Just trim this a little bit because I did it crooked. Okay, so we're going to do this again at 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. And this one I'll leave white on the back, so it'll be a little different. It won't be as dramatic, I don't think. But you know me with my drama, I love that. Okay, so now what we have to do for this is I'm going to stamp this first, and then I'm going to figure out where to cut. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. So for this, I'm just going to turn my MISTI this way and get my whole card base on here. And I'm putting it down in this corner over here because I'm going to use this row of trees. There we go. So I'll have some trimming to do on this. So I think I'll do jelly bean because that's the color that's in here, but I think I might mix it with something else. Let's see, what could I mix it with? Maybe one of these markers. I'll use this Tombow marker. This is $2.49, and I feel like this is going to be a nice Christmas pine color. Oh yes, that'll be really nice. Or we can use the Christmas pine ink cube. That works as well. We just bounce on it here. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up with jelly bean first. And then I'm going to bounce on this. You guys see this? With this Christmas pine marker. I just want these trees to stand out a little bit more. Just popping it on there. This is called the thumping technique because you're thumping this marker all over. Okay. And then we're going to stamp that across the top of this card. I'm using my Chucky tool. Ooh, look how pretty they turned out. Aren't they nice? The marker does sometimes stay on the stamp when I clean it. Not this time. It really depends on the color. Sometimes the reds do. That doesn't look like it's damaged at all. Not damaged. It wouldn't be damaged. It would just be stained. And stained stamps are loved stamps. So we don't have to worry about the stains. But if you're concerned about it, you can also use the Gina K Design Stamp Cleaner. We do have more of that on the way. That's sold out during our sale. That's a great way to get rid of stains on your stamps. It won't get rid of black if it's the amalgam ink and you didn't clean it right away, or if it's like a permanent ink, then it won't get rid of that. But again, a stain stamp is a loved stamp. Okay, so I'm going to do a little pencil line here. Go right to the edge so I know my line is straight. Move it over. Put that here. Sorry if my head's in the way. I get to get my hair done tomorrow by Rena. I'm excited because I need the roots done. I don't know if you saw that. I apologize in advance if anybody is permanently damaged from seeing my roots. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to cut the back of this off here. Could put a sea glass piece of cardstock back there, and then it would look more like a sky. I think that'd be pretty. I want to get into that little well too of the fold. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to trim these trees. Ooh, tree trimming. I love that. And you don't have to be too fancy about it. Just go down in between them. We'll see how it looks. We can always get closer if we want to. I would just leave that little flat part at the top. Just so that you know where to put your background piece. Okay, here's my trees. Now, if you want and you have time, you can get in there and you can cut the little parts out in between. I'm going to take a few minutes to do some of them. I'll have to do all of them. Once you commit, you got to do them all. But we've got time. Kind of go in there and make the fringe in between them. Now, fussy cutting to me is very relaxing. I know some people aren't big fussy cutting fans, but I really, actually you can cut that off. I think that will look just fine. I really enjoy the process. And again, this is one of those things that you can take time to do if you're, if you don't have a lot of mojo and you just think, okay, I'm just going to spend some time cutting out the details on some of these trees. I mean, that's just something to do when you don't know what to do. I think it'll just look a little better if we get some of the details cut out. A little more here. So what do you guys do for the holidays? Do you guys have family over? Do you cook? What is your food that you do for a Christmas dinner if you celebrate Christmas? I'll tell you what ours is. You're going to think it's crazy. I think this is an Italian thing. And it's not pasta. Although I know a lot of Italian people do pasta. We do crab legs, believe it or not. We go to like Sam's Club and get a few boxes of crab legs, and we do crab legs for Christmas. It's not traditional like a Christmas ham or a Christmas turkey, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of different. And I think we all look forward to it because we don't normally get that kind of stuff, through the year. Are you more traditional than that? Or do you kind of go off the rails like we do for Christmas? I can't look at your comments right now, so Tom can tell me what you guys are saying.
Just a little bit of everything.
Really?
Yes.
I will go back and look at your comments for ideas.
Well, I can't watch too much because I'm really getting hungry.
Are you hungry? This is almost done.
Some really good ideas here.
Really? Like what? Do share.
Italian, German, crab legs.
Ooh, somebody else doing crab legs like
gumbo,
me? Gumbo.
Rib,
oh, like the warm soups and stuff. That would be really fun.
Lasagna.
Oh, lasagna. Oh, yum. I think we're going to have lasagna at our company party as one of the options. Okay, so there we go. I've kind of jazzed it up a little bit by cutting out some of the details, and I think that helps a little bit, don't you guys? Think it makes a little bit of a difference? Okay, let's get that out of the way. Then, let's see here. So we want to use this, or is that too busy? Should we just stencil it? Let's just stencil it. I think it's going to be prettier if we stencil it. Ooh, and I have an idea. I have a really good idea. So let's just stencil it. And then I'm going to do my idea and show you something cute. I'm going to make it in the middle. So I was going to use the pinks and the purples, but now I don't think that I should. I think I should stick to this same color combo. So let's start with the sea glass. This also has a little blue lagoon, and I know it's going to get on the back, but we're not going to see that. So we'll do a little bit of sea glass here. Yeah, you could just keep using the masking magic. It's probably a good idea not to use it on your card, so then you don't have to cut it out again and you can keep using it as a stencil. Okay, and get a little jelly bean in there. Okay. And then I have something fun here. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Wish me luck as I peel. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. All right, so for up here, let's emboss something going across there, shall we? Let's do it. So I have some terrific tape here. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to dry this up. Yeah, the soft color is really nice, right? Okay. Just want to make sure that's dry because I'm going to do some embossing. So I'm going to get my embossing magic pad here. And then I'm going to take a piece of terrific tape. This is the 1/4 inch terrific tape. And I'm going to cut a nice straight line. And I'm going to put that right here. Have that go across like that. And then I'm going to trim it. I know that was a lot, but I really wanted to make sure that I had enough. Because once you put it down, you know, you can't really take it off because it is sticky tape. So I have a little bit, and I can save that for something else. So I have a little bit of terrific tape there. So it's straight. I think it's straight enough. It's going to be straight enough. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this liner off of this terrific tape, and I'm going to use some silver embossing powder. Oh, wow. Some of you really go all out with your food. That's awesome. Christmas dinner at your house next year. I will be there. Okay, so I added a little silver embossing powder on there. And you can see through it right now, but you won't once it heats up. So I'm going to heat this up for just a second to get it nice and hot. Yeah, glitter paper would be really pretty too. All right, and now I'm just going to quick emboss that. Oh, I love that. I love all the texture. Look at the texture because of the terrific tape. Isn't that pretty? You see all that? Like glitters. Okay. So now we'll get our greeting on there using the Misty. I don't even know where my embossing powder went, but I know it could be a disaster if I leave it out. Okay. I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. And hold these down. And I'll use that same greeting right here. And once again, we'll do that in black. Could do it in silver too if you want, as an option. Oh, that's so pretty. Do it one more time. Make sure it's in the same spot. Looks pretty close. Yes. How fun that is. Okay, so now we just have to assemble this card. Let me get this out of the way. Now, we could use Tranquil Teal behind it. What do you guys think of Tranquil Teal behind it? Would that be pretty instead of black? And then we'll put it on a white card base. Let's do that. Sea glass would be nice, but I think Tranquil Teal will really stand out. The Merry Christmas is from the mini set called Holly Jolly. So I'm cutting this. You could use Master Layouts 1 for this. I'm cutting it 3 7/8 of an inch by 5 1/8. This is a bigger card, this part, so it's not going to show much of the white card base. Remember, you're only going to tape down here at the bottom. There we go. And then we will need another white card base. Do I have a white card base laying around? I do. I can make this one book style, I believe. I think my cutting is off. I just grabbed some cardstock earlier and cut it, and it, oh, that's pretty. I like that. I really like the little bit of sparkle in that. Just by having that little strip going across the center. And then that card opens like this, so you can write your message in here. All right, so there we go. 2 fun little cards. Boy, I made such a mess today. Today was the messiest day I've ever had making cards. Maybe not the messiest, but we'll put that there. Once you get it in the envelope, everything will flatten out. Plus, I don't know that I really used my scoring edge very well right here. Okay, there we go. All right, Tom, what do you think?
They look really cool.
Are they fun? Just something different, just a different layout. Yeah. All right, so we're going to give these cards away to 2 of our wonderful viewers who left comments today. So let's start with the little city here, the little city skyline. Who gets the city?
All right, city skyline goes to P.A. Initials.
P.A. All right, congratulations, P.A. That's
yes.
Awesome. Woohoo! Okay, and then who gets the little Christmas trees with the little bit of glitter in there?
Okay, another set of initials, I think. S.D.K. S.D.K.
S.D.K. Congratulations.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Well, P.A. and S.D.K., if you would just send your full real names and addresses over to info@GinaKDesigns.com and let them know whether you won the little row of houses or the trees. I will get those cards out to you. Well, everybody, I hope that you had a good time with us this afternoon. I'll be back this week with another 5-minute card video, and then we'll be back next Monday with another live. In the meantime, stay. Oh, I did want to say, we are really backed up with shipping, and our team is working so hard, but we got hit harder than we've ever gotten hit before with orders. Thank you all so very much for that, for your support. You're getting us through the toughest part of the year, and we really, really appreciate that. But they are swamped, and we're getting anywhere from 300 to 500 orders out a day, but we're at about 14 to 17 business days trying to get them all sent out from the Black Friday weekend. So if you could just remember, they're human, they're doing the best they can, have a little patience, and we really appreciate that. All right, everybody, I got to get working on my 5-minute card video. So stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.